G'day, Ajmahari here. Gonna be in a response to another comment. This time with somebody with BPD who seems awful darn proud of it. I don't know. Been a couple of interesting edicts from this person with BPD on the channel today in their comments. So Ryan states too, my video, BPD, borderlines don't, can't, and won't love you or attach to you. He says, disagree. I have high-functioning BPD and I have absolute extreme love for those I partner with. Okay, sure you do. What you haven't put here is whether you're treated, untreated, in the middle of therapy, what? That might be helpful. But like a typical, I shouldn't call you a typical borderline, but like people with BPD always have to do, they can't just say disagree and try to talk about what they believe their truth to be, whether it is or not, I don't know. But then has to come the rest of it, right? Plus, honestly, this video is completely demonizing us borderlines for symptoms that without therapy, we have no control over. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Wah! It's completely disgusting and unacceptable to add on an unfair stigma. Oh my God. How borderline trite is this comment? Seriously, dude. Like, first of all, you disagree and you think you're special. Because then you're saying, because the video is completely demonizing. Have you watched any of my other videos? In fact, you have commented before, and you sort of had more emotional regulation during those comments, I think, dude. Because the other thing is, this channel doesn't vilify people with BPD. But you want to come straight up at me and say that I am demonizing people with BPD? I hope you're saying it on the channels where that's really true, because it's not true here. That's why you even have a voice here at all. But if you keep on using it this way, that won't last long. Because you're highly disrespectful, and you're actually showing borderline behavior right now. Because honestly, this video is completely demonizing us borderlines. And you said for symptoms that without therapy we have no control over. So have you had therapy yet or not? Where are you in the therapeutic process? How can you say high-functioning BPD doesn't equate with people being able to relate any better than low-functioning? That's not the differentiation between high-functioning and low-functioning BPD. I don't know what your absolute truth is, but you say that you have an absolute extreme love for those I partner with. Sounds like a really fervent dichotomous statement. So I don't know, because I don't know you. And everything I said about in these videos about people with BPD holds water for more than not, because I'm talking largely about, first of all, people with BPD not being all the same. And I also include in there largely untreated or not significantly people with BPD. So I fully well know that can change, but it depends where you are in your process. And so this idea that I'm demonizing all of you, no, that's just a wham victim narrative from you, to be straight up honest. And for symptoms that without therapy we have no control over. Whether they have control over symptoms or not, you or anybody else with BPD, you hear this. You are 100% responsible for how you affect, impact, and negatively hurt or worse other people. But, I don't know where you are in the treatment. But if you aren't treated, then you're kidding yourself. And treatment doesn't mean 1 year DBT and you're recovered, by the way. So, if you just state your opinion, it's fine. But you want to take shots and you want to do the usual borderline things, what you're doing here. And then you say, it's completely disgusting. Is it really? Is it really? Okay. Boy, you're black and white. And unacceptable. Oh, really? What do you want to do? Censor me now too? You sound like somebody who's got such potential to love the person you partner with, because you can't even be civil with a stranger. Way to go, man. Way to represent people with BPD for what we see all over the internet and what everybody sees in real life up close and personal. It's disgusting and unacceptable. Whoa. Yeah. And then to add on to an unfair stigma. You don't sound like you're very treated, dude, because people with BPD that are still stuck in what's fair and what's not fair, well, that's childish, childlike, very kind of, quote, classic borderline, unquote, of you, because what's fair or unfair is really the typical language of people with BPD, perhaps like yourself, who just want a right fight. So is that what this comment is about? You're supposed to be righter than I am because maybe you're special and you think that high-functioning BPD has anything to do with one's capacity to love or attach, etc.? It depends on whether you're significantly treated or not, but by the likes of the comment, it doesn't seem like it, to tell you the truth, but I don't know you. So anyway, I always get kind of a kick out of people with BPD who come along and, you've been triggered by the video, dude. So, you might want to take some personal responsibility for that before you fire your words at me, which I don't care. I don't take it personally. But, the idea that you're still defending people with BPD, as you are one with BPD, saying that, until therapy, you don't have any control over those, over the symptoms. Well, they're not just symptoms. Do you understand the impact that they have on people that are close to many, but not all, with BPD? So unless you've done something more stellar than 1 year of DBT or half a month or something, I wonder how it is that you love whoever you partner with. I wonder what kind of stories they tell us, eh? Anyway, what I kind of find interesting here is, you're asserting yourself fine. Who knows what your story is, right? Like, who knows? Maybe you've got more treatment. But if you had more treatment, why would the second paragraph be here? And why would you still be whining about something that's unfair? And I'm sorry, it comes across like whining. Aggressive whining, but whining nonetheless. So I'm not here to stigmatize people with BPD. I go out of my way in almost every video I do to say people with BPD aren't all the same, etc., etc., etc. But I don't feel like I have to, defend myself. I just think that whenever people, lots of people with BP on this channel are very civil, very respectful, very much showing that they're in some healing and recovery journey. I don't see that from you here. And you can disagree all you want, and I don't know what's really true for you, do I? So I'm not trying to say that I can know that, but it's completely disgusting. Well, that's really kind of a black and white. So I'm all bad now, aren't I? Because you found this video, I'm all bad now. So a little bit of splitting there. It's disgusting. What a sort of powerful word that suggests that you can't just regulate yourself and kind of stick with what you said in the beginning. Disagree. Which you didn't even put the word I in front of, which is interesting. Because do you know the I as in I am? Who are you? I don't know. You might not. Doesn't sound like it here, though. So it's completely disgusting to you and for you, and unacceptable to add on to unfair stigma. That I'm sorry. I'm just going to call it for what it is. It's a borderline whine. That's what it is. I'm not stigmatizing anybody. Matter of fact, I go out of my way to parse information and to not say all people with BPD are the same, and to hold people with codependency and people who are reverse hoovering people with BPD, to hold them accountable too. So where's your accountability whenever anybody with BPD goes to, you're stigmatizing and it's unfair? Why is it unfair? Why is it affecting you so strongly? And I would just suggest, if you want more comments on the channel, this isn't the worst I've ever seen, but you might want to just be just a little bit more civil without, lose the accusations. Can you do that? If you can love whoever you partner with, do you think you could be a little bit more civil here without being accusatory, judgmental, and having the victim stance of, well, without therapy, we can't control the symptoms. So what? Everybody's supposed to roll over and put up with what those symptoms are from many people with BPD? I highly doubt it. I don't think so whatsoever. And then you're saying I'm stigmatizing and what I say is disgusting? Well, I guess you're not ready to hear it, are you? It kind of speaks to where you are in your healing too. So all I can say is, don't know you, but this is just a typical dysregulated, triggered person with BPD who has to add this stuff on the bottom. So that's cute. I hope that was satisfied you, or you feel like you got back at me for whatever it is you don't like that I said, which, by the way, is very much borderline behavior, because you should be able to communicate in a way that doesn't have to go to stigma and disgusting and unfair, right? It's all judgment. It's all rather black and white. So anyway, this is an example of what people with BPD do when they're shirking personal responsibility and making excuses. And not all people with BPD do this, but apparently that's what Ryan chose to do on that one video, in which I probably say, I don't know, I didn't listen back to it, but I probably say that all people with BPD aren't the same, and that untreated and what the woundedness of BPD is, and explaining all of that, which is not stigmatizing, is not unfair. Oh, people with BPD and the word unfair. It's time to grow up. It's time to understand that there is no fairness in life. It's time to deal with what you need to deal with, if in fact you're not. But your comment suggests you're really not. There's too much emotional reaction and anger in that for you to be the person you claim to be in the first paragraph. There's a real dichotomy there, a real contradiction there. But this is what a lot of people with BPD will claim. Whether you disagree with me or not matters not to me. You can disagree all you want. But then you throw in the shots. Oh, what I said was disgusting. Really? What I said was really accurate and really right on. Not for all people with BPD, but for the untreated or not yet well enough treated. And I would suggest, Ryan, your comment suggests that you're not emotionally regulated enough. And then when you go to unfair, it's like, really? Aw. What could I possibly do to bend over backwards to you, Ryan? Because obviously as a person with high-functioning BPD, kind of that's what you're asking for. That's what you expect. That's what you want. I don't know if you're going to comment back to say whether or not you've had treatment, or tell us what kind of treatment you've had. Because whatever you're asserting about your own personal life is one thing that might be true, might not be, who knows. And the other, what you added on after that, I mean, if you find what I say disgusting, what are you listening for? What are you watching for? Nobody's holding you captive here, Ryan. So, in some ways, this is a classical borderline response, right fighting back at me, right fighting, and because I'm not involved in right fighting, and going to, we can't manage the symptoms if we haven't had therapy. Yeah, well, I would have only said that in how many videos, right? And I'm not stigmatizing people with BPD. I would rather suggest that your comment here, your last paragraph, is stigmatizing people with BPD, including yourself. Hope this was educational for someone else. Take care.